What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films back with another video. And if you have never watched one of my YouTube videos before, or you have never subscribed to me, which you should because I am the greatest YouTuber on the planet, you would probably think that I am a typical DJI douchebag that got all of these DJI items for free for review, or I'm sponsored by DJI. Straight up looking like one of those Asian fobs working for DJI, walking around NAB. As you can see, I have a DJI RS4 PRO, this DJI FOCUS PRO motor, system, Lidar, whatever. This DJI Action 4, which I'll show you why I have this a little bit later. And this DJI Mic 2 with this little wind muff, old DJI CEO hairy pubic hair or dead cat or whatever. Based on the smell, I would say it's the dead cat at my local Chinese food restaurant. How I know what a dead cat smells like? Don't ask. The truth is, I was not sent these items from DJI. I'm not sponsored by DJI. I am not affiliated with them. I have not worked with DJI ever. I bought all of these with my own hard-earned money, running an illegal happy ending massage parlor in the back of my mom's nail salon. Cash only, under the table. Jokes aside, today I will be reviewing the DJI FOCUS PRO after using it filming a wedding. First, some typical tube doucher B-rolls. Just kidding, ain't no one got time for that shit. So right now I'm holding this DJI FOCUS PRO motor and all that already rigged up to my Sony FX3. The reason why I wanted to buy this system is because I want to use it with my anamorphic lenses. Right now, my favorite ones to use is the Sirui Saturn T2.9 series. I have a 35, 50, and a 75, and I primarily used the 50 millimeter when I filmed this wedding. And here's some footage.
I found the one my heart loves. I held him and would not let him go. I am calm in this moment and full of joy, as I know I have found the other half of my soul.
I like to think that everything I've done before today was exactly what I was supposed to do to eventually lead me to you. Every day, I wake up to you as a gift, and I do not take it for granted. I hope to grow old with you and still remember the first day we met as vividly as I do now.
You don't truly know the difference of living your life without your soulmate until you meet them. My life since meeting you has forever changed.
I'm so happy to be standing with you here now, today.
Today I promise to choose you and to choose us every day for the rest of our lives.
Overall, I'm not going to wait till the end. I highly recommend this DJI FOCUS PRO if you're looking to get an autofocus system for your camera. If either one, you just want to get manual focus lenses, you want to use anamorphic lenses, and it doesn't have autofocus, and you want autofocus for those lenses, I highly recommend this system. I don't think right now in the market it could get any better than this. Two, you have a trash camera, let's say an old Panasonic, Blackmagic, whatever the crap, red, some of those garbage, wannabe filmmaker cameras, because oh look, I have red, I'm a filmmaker. Shut the hell up. If you need autofocus for those, I also recommend this system for that. So it is quite costly. It's $1,000 for the creator combo whenever it's available for sale, and the full-blown combo with a little remote handle for the true real filmmaker douchebags that has some dude focus pulling for them. That's gonna run you another, what is that? That's gonna run you like $18.50 or whatever it is. I was lucky enough to catch it available on B&H for like 30 minutes a couple weeks ago, and I jumped on it. So that's why I have the system. And unfortunately, my DJI RS3 standard non-pro doesn't interact with DJI's Lidar system at all. So if I wanted to mount this setup on that DJI RS3, I would have to also mount this handle on the side and then still run the camera to this handle, and also having the DJI RS3 handle. And then I had to put a weight onto the camera to like offset and make sure it balances on the gimbal. It was a huge hassle, a huge problem, and it was gonna be too complicated for me to take the camera on and off while doing run and gun filming. Let me adjust my exposure here because of these clouds. It was gonna cause a huge problem with run and gun filmmaking, so I kind of had to buy this DJI RS4 Pro. So all because I wanted to use this, all of a sudden all of this comes into play. So if you're in my situation, you have a DJI RS3 or a non-pro gimbal and you want to use this on gimbal, just think about this whole situation here and how it's going to ruin your life when you're filming something like a wedding, run and gun documentary, whatever BS you're getting into. So with that said, the DJI FOCUS PRO worked great, autofocused great. There are some issues that I think DJI needs to fix. And I already reached out to DJI through customer support because I don't have any DJI reps or anything I know of, because I'm a trash tube doucher who I guess doesn't deserve the respect of DJI. I'm gonna go over this with you, especially for longer duration shoots. I'm gonna go over some of the issues I have with the system. Again, I think it's a fantastic system. If you're looking into getting it, you definitely should. You just have to be aware of these issues and the real cost of having this system in your kit. Firstly, this handle, 2.5 hours of battery. That means you're either gonna have to buy additional battery grip, which is egregiously expensive, like 100, 150 bucks, and you could only use it for DJI stuff, or you have to be like me and have a V-mount or some other type of battery bank powering the handle the whole time to make sure you have enough juice for the entire day, or at least enough juice for however many hours you need until you take a break and you can recharge it. Whatever it is, you have to be aware of that. Secondly, when you're not using the handle and you're just using the DJI RS4 Pro, normally the gimbal would last like 12 hours if you're just camera and lens on here. But if you're using Lidar and the focus motor, this thing will die quicker than an Asian man without rice for 2 days. This thing will last maybe 2.5 hours also. Even though this battery is bigger than this, it doesn't last that long. So you will also have to use some type of external battery power to continuously charge this handle if you're gonna want to be able to keep filming without being afraid the battery is gonna run out, especially on a day like an 8-hour wedding or any other random long duration documentary you're filming that is gonna run past 2.5 hours. Problematic. So real cost of the system. It's not just this DJI, Focus Pro or this. You're gonna need additional battery, right? Anywhere from $100 to whatever. I'm currently using a CameTV 99C V-mount battery, highly recommended. It has a bunch of outputs. It got USB-C and all this nonsense. Got D-tap, so you could tap that D in there. Pretty much. And as you can see, my rig is still being worked on right now, and it's not perfect, but I'm gonna go over how I rigged this up in a little bit. But I'm still working on how I'm gonna be setting up my system moving forward, because this is what I was using, it's kind of janky. But yeah, you're gonna have to buy a battery. I recommend this CameTV 99C V-mount, and it's a good price on Amazon compared to, like, let's say the small rig one, which is super expensive. So obviously on your camera, you're gonna need a cage. So right here, I have a Condor Blue cage for my FX3 with a Condor Blue handle. The problem is, and I tried out these other cages I have in my house with the DJI mounts that come with it. If I were to mount it here, it would block my HDMI input on my FX3. And I had to buy additional items like clamps and stuff to get it to work the way it does here, which is additional costs. You know, that's like another 50, 60 bucks or whatever. And why am I using an HDMI in? I could just use the Sony screen, yeah? Y'all should know this already. Sony screens are absolute garbage, especially on the FX3. Doesn't have a viewfinder or anything, so you're going to need an external monitor, especially if you're running a system like this. Even though it's a very reliable autofocus system, you never know what could happen. And so you want to make sure that you're seeing clearly what is in focus. You're going to need a monitor. There's a lot of monitors you could obviously buy out there. The one I have here is the Portkeys LH7P. And the reason why I recommend this, even though I have like a Hollyland M1 Pro or Max, whatever it's called, and Atomos Ninja V Plus, is because one, the Atomos Ninja V Plus is 5.5. They're both like 5 inch and a half screens. Basically the average length of an erect penis in the world. Not here in this backyard right now. It's a lot less than that. But this Portkeys one is a full 7 inches. And it's almost the same size as the Hollyland and the Atomos, even though those are only like 5 inches, 5.5, because the screen bezels are a lot smaller. They're all 1000 nits, but the Ninja V Plus doesn't have a 1.6 times squeeze for anamorphic. I was using, they only have a 1.5 times squeeze, and I was actually using that when I was filming the wedding. And even though it's pretty close, but it still throws me off a little bit just because the subjects looked a little bit narrow compared to what I would expect. So it was throwing me off a little bit. My main issue with the Hollyland one is, you know, it has built-in wireless system, which makes it slightly heavier. And to be quite honest with you, I like to run my rig as light as I possibly can. And this Portkeys LH7P is really, really light. Not to say that it's not high quality. It is still good quality in my opinion. It's the cheapest out of all of them. It's only $349. Obviously the bigger 7-inch screen, but you can also control your FX3. You could also control your Sony camera connected via Wi-Fi to the camera. So you could actually have camera control. So if you're using this monitor without this manual focus stuff, you could actually tap to focus, tap to track autofocus. You won't have the box the same way the Sony screen would show the box, but you could tap and you could see that it's, you know, on this screen, you look at it, you could tell that it is obviously autofocusing and track focusing for you. And you could do all the camera controls like shutter speed, aperture, ISO, the whole 9 yards, just right on the screen. So you could actually just close this screen and use your monitor, versus before I would have to use both. Look at the monitor and my Sony screen. It's a big problem. There's another thing you have to consider when you're buying this DJI FOCUS PRO system. You may need an external monitor. This one is 350 bucks. So you're looking at another 350 bucks investment into this system. And the challenge of filming outside is this constant changing exposure, making me look super unprofessional. So yeah, and then, you know, you're gonna have all this cable management action going on over here. You're gonna have to deal with all these cables. You're gonna have to like tie it up somehow. Again, I'm still working on this rig, trying to figure out the best way to do it. So bear with me. And you also have to consider when you wanna go from this handheld rig to your gimbal, how easy it will be for you to switch back and forth. And I'll show you how easy or how difficult it is for me to switch over to my gimbal in a second. But firstly, I want to tell you about my biggest problem. The battery stuff I could deal with, you know. Honestly, like when I'm running a system like this, I'll probably want to run an external battery, just power my camera, the monitor, everything out of this one battery. It acts as like a nice little chest rest here too, as I'm filming, you know, helps me with stability. But this is a problem that DJI needs to fix, because I think the problem between the handheld and the Ronin is that it operates a little differently. Like the functionality of the autofocusing system functions differently. Obviously this is handheld, so when you're track focusing on a subject, it is just focusing with the lens. However, on the gimbal, there's this extra feature where it will track focus with the lens, but it will also active track with the gimbal, meaning this gimbal will follow the subject around. It will pan, it'll tilt, and follow the subject around. Me as a filmmaker holding the gimbal, I'm behind the camera. I want to control the following by myself. I could see how it's beneficial if you're filming yourself like this and you want the thing to follow you around, great. I'm not doing that. I am filming behind the camera. I want to control the following myself. I just need help, assistance, autofocusing, my anamorphic manual focus lens, because I'm trying to be a cinematic douchebag. After watching the Creator movie, they're using the Sony FX3 the entire time, and then now I have a Sony FX3. I think I'm some cinematographer DP, even though I'm just a YouTube D-bag filming in my backyard. So I'm gonna show you how the difference in the functionality and the inability for me to turn off ActiveTrack completely on the gimbal affects me while filming. And I'm gonna try to show you by using my DJI Action 4 that I bought with my own money for my YouTube channel, for my fishing YouTube channel, if you're interested in that. So now I'm gonna walk over here and show you how it works, filming some flowers or something. All right, so right now I have autofocus turned on. I don't know if you could see this crap at all. There's wide focus, as you can see, wide. So right now, because there's not anything clear cut for the DJI FOCUS PRO to focus on, there's just a tree, there's just a box in the middle. I can't touch it, I can't do anything with it. Now, if there's people, if there's people and there's humans in the shot, you'll get multiple boxes attached to each individual person or individual person, and you can use the little dial here to scroll back and forth, scroll through, or the person you'll be focused on will have a yellow square, meaning it is actively tracking that individual, and the white ones are just there. So that is the wide system in wide mode without any subject to detect. It is just in the center. There's nothing to do with the screen. Now, with the flex spot mode, it's the same thing, except I could actually touch the screen into like an area, you know, that I want to focus on. Or if I want to focus on that flowery tree right there, I could draw a box, and then still, it doesn't do anything. That box is just generally focusing within that box. If I want to autofocus track that tree that's in that box right now, I then just press this little trigger right here, and then boom, it turns orange, and now the lens will be actively tracking this tree. And as I get closer, the motor will start trying to focus on that tree, and based on my monitor, that tree is in focus, and overall good stuff. So if I want to, you know, track on this particular leaf, I could select that leaf, hit that track button, the square turns orange. I don't know if you can see this or not, and now it is actively autofocusing on that tree, and I get to like track focus, and that yellow box stays on that flower, and we are all happy. Now, that is my understanding of how the handheld system works, and I am completely happy with how the handheld system works, to be quite honest with you. It is on the gimbal where I have problems, which I'll try to show you now. And I'm gonna show you how long it takes me to switch from this handheld rig to this douchebag gimbal right now. And I'll try to do a standing. Usually I'd be on the ground, on my knees, like some of my employees over at my illegal happy ending massage in the back of my mom's nail salon, under the table cash. DM me for directions. So here we go. All I'm going to want to transfer over is the battery, the camera, and the monitor. And I'm going to take this handle off. So first, all this crap I'm going to turn off. Yeah. So imagine doing this while you're at a wedding. I use, at weddings or any other type of documentary filmmaking, I like to mix between handheld and gimbal. I don't just do all handheld. I don't do all gimbal. I use both when I feel like it's necessary. Usually during prep, I'll use handheld. Then I'll use gimbal throughout the ceremony and then throughout like portrait session and all that stuff. And then during the reception, I'll use both gimbal and handheld, whatever I feel like doing. And those of you videographers who say gimbals are trash or whatever, you should just go handheld because organic, shut the hell up. You're lazy and you're weak. Watch any movie, Hollywood movie, whatever, where you see that organic handheld feel. They also have gimbal shots in that movie. So you should have some gimbal shots in the movie. Don't be like running around the bride and groom and your camera looks like it's shaking like it's a freaking Taiwanese earthquake. You douchebag. Buy a gimbal, use your gimbal. It doesn't take that long to balance. Stop being a lazy piece of trash. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this rig. So you're gonna just take the handle off. Well, first I'm gonna unplug the cables from the handle. Then I'm gonna take the handle off. And again, I'm still working on this rig. So handle is off, I put it away. Looking unprofessional again with this changing exposure, looking like some trash. So next order of business is I'm gonna have to disconnect my V-mount battery really quick from this system. Battery off. The battery is gonna go on this little V-mount thing that I have on my gimbal. Again, there's not a final place. I'm still working on this stuff, but as of right now, this is what I could think of. Monitor. Make sure I disconnect all that crap. I'll put my monitor right here. Monitor goes here. Got good clearance for that HDMI cable. And now my monitor is chilling there. I can plug it in now, whatever. But now I'm gonna just put I don't need this handle anymore. Take this handle off. So now only this is gonna go on the gimbal. I use Falcam quick release, so you know it goes on really quick. Everything's good. Now I'm going to plug in the Lidar stuff into the gimbal inputs or outputs, whatever. Get all these batteries connected, all this power connected here. Get the monitor connected to the camera. Get this. Oh, so again, because the clearance is so low, I gotta make sure I attach the V-mount power first. Get to get proper clearance. Now the battery's in, everything is connected, and usually I would balance my gimbal ahead of time. And it's probably close to balance from this weekend, but it's not because I kind of changed things up a little bit. So I'm gonna have to rebalance, but anyways, these are some Condor Blue magnetic cable ties that I'm gonna just, I don't know, just put it on, whatever. So roughly, this is how it's gonna work. Let me just double check balance. And yeah, it's not balanced. I'm gonna just balance it real quick. Maybe I'll keep you on, maybe not. All right. Meanwhile, I'm filming my Sony ZV-1 and it's been filming for a while. No overheating, so 34 minutes or something. There goes that. So here we go. Turn on the gimbal. My phone here has pictures of my kids, As you can see, there's like a box that's highlighting their face, that one of their faces on continuous mode, which is great. And now I'm in flex spot, and of course not going to follow. Now I get to pick what I wanted to highlight. There's a person on the site of the, there's a person in the site of the LiDAR. I hit the trigger and the box turns green, and now the gimbal is going to start following around. And what I want is, I want the ability to turn this green box completely off so that it is only yellow. All I want is a yellow box around the person that I'm trying to focus on. And it's easier for me to touch the box, highlight who I want to do, hit the trigger, get that focus on the person instead of using wide and just, you know, letting the gimbal do all like the guesswork on who I want to focus on. And then when there's like more than one person, I have to like use a scroll wheel to find the person I want to focus on. I would much prefer if I could just highlight what I want in flex mode. Highlight what I want in flex mode, hit the trigger, and I know that it will focus without the gimbal moving around. So yeah, that's my primary gripe with the DJI FOCUS PRO motor when being used on gimbal, is the fact that I cannot completely disable ActiveTrack on the gimbal when I just want to be able to use both wide and flexible focus modes to just autofocus the lens and not have this gimbal follow everywhere, because it ruined one of my shots when I was following the bride down the aisle, and during the handoff, that flexible spot like got on to, I think, the officiant or something, and then when it decided to jump from the bride to the officiant, the gimbal also turned and completely just jacked my shot up. And let's be real, you know, that kind of autofocusing could happen anywhere, even with autofocusing on in camera, right? Like your camera could decide to switch from one person to the next without, you know, in a moment's notice, you know. And good thing is, once you notice it, you could either tap the screen again to get focus back on the right person, switch to manual focus real quick and do it yourself. Problem with the gimbal, when it's on ActiveTrack, that gimbal is going to swipe wherever direction that person is, and you're not going to be able to recover. If you're able to disable that ActiveTrack functionality in the gimbal, you could be able to recover because your gimbal didn't completely move your shot. You still have control of your composition. Now you just need to regain control of the autofocus, whether it be retapping on that screen, going into manual focus really quickly, what have you. It's a lot more of ideal of a system for someone who just needs autofocus out of the FOCUS PRO and not gimbal active tracking. Simple enough. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was insightful. I hope it helps you make a business decision, purchase decision on the DJI FOCUS PRO. Again, like I said in the beginning, if you're looking for something to help you autofocus your manual focus lenses, whether it be anamorphic or whatever, highly recommend the DJI FOCUS PRO. I would put some affiliate links below to DJI, so I get some commission from DJI, but for some reason, they won't approve my affiliate account. So links in the description below for B&H or Amazon or whatever for the system if you're interested in buying. Obviously, I get some commission, some kickback off of that. Yeah, it's probably going to be in stock at the DJI store first. Go over there and buy it if you want to, and I won't get jack shit from it. Good thing I still have my illegal happy ending massage parlor in the back of my mom's nail salon under the table cash. Comment below if you'd like directions to that, times of operation, and costs. If you like this video and you subscribe to my channel, I'll give you a discount. Again, cash only, no credit. Be ready for the time of your life. Until next time, lighten up. And no, I don't have a happy ending massage parlor. I make money from filming videos. I don't have a happy ending massage in the back of my mom's nail salon. My mom's a manicurist, but she doesn't own a nail salon. So, peace out.
Hey man, that's the Gimbal X60.
Yeah, it's a Gimbal X60.
Oh my god, that light hit track so small and unprofessional.
Yeah, it's small, but it's a 60-watt light. It has an attachable battery, and you could attach this Bones mount adapter. And pretty much you could use any Bones modifier with this light.
It don't do RGB, LGBTQ, ABCDEFG lighting.
By all those letters, you mean this kind of light?
If you want to be the best, if you want to be professional, if you want to be award-winning, you need to use the bigger light.
I'm not trying to carry big-ass lights and hurt my old-ass Asian back for no reason.
You just need a good massage.
Oh, really? You know a place?
Let me show you. Go to Bit and Hold Phở Nail and Massage and get a #1 lac shine and happy ending. Only $29.99.